Hey guys, Mike from Wrestling Then and Now. Thanks so much for checking out the Bobby Blaze clips. To learn more about Bobby Blaze, to hear more of his unbelievable stories, go to Amazon, pick up one of his books. He has several on Amazon. Leave a review. Check him out. Bobby's a great storyteller. I picked up his book, Pin Me, Pay Me. Love it. Make sure you check him out. Support our buddy Bobby Blaze. Check out one of his books.
We mentioned Chris. So, like I said, I'm from Jersey. I turned 50 years old in June. I've known Tammy since I was 17. So you figure, what's that, 33
Yeah.
years? I've been around her 100 times. I've traveled with her. Me and my wife have been to her house for parties. I've never seen the bad Tammy. I could, Bobby, I can honestly say that. Listen, if someone's an asshole, I call him an asshole.
Yeah.
I've never seen the bad Tammy. Me personally. I'm just
Uh,
being honest. What was your experience with Tammy like?
I never had a bad Tammy experience once.
Yeah.
Someone from New Jersey, a newspaper there, I can't think of what it was. They were doing an article before she was a big star and blah blah blah, and it was all the good stuff. And I just told them the good stuff that I knew because um, I went to. They were in Thanksgiving. I went to a house, not of Thanksgiving Day, but to the apartment. I went there for lunch several times. Um, I was never in the car with her, but she come to my hometown with Chris. I didn't know if he was going to mention that's why. Uh, Always full of love for me. When I went to WWF there to see Chris, there's Tammy right there. And hey, Bobby, let me show you my new tattoo. She had a little gimmick down there, and okay, yeah. But I'd seen her in locker room before, talked to her. I've been in a hotel room with Chris. We were in Detroit. Sabu had a couple of shows up there. And we were doing that title run. He got me. He brought in me, Chris, and what's his name? Taz for the and Rob. It was a nice couple paid shows up in Detroit area, and Chris and I had a room together. Chris stayed on the phone till like 4 in the morning, man. Him and her talking, just I just saw they was I never saw the bad side. And I don't have anything bad to say. I could say a lot of stuff, but I'm not my brother's keeper. I'm not here to judge other people. But I'm glad that you're telling me that. But I've been at a gym with I've been everywhere with her except for the car traveling. And I didn't have a bad Tammy experience, and I guess that's a good thing, that I didn't see that side.
Right.
But and I explained this to the gentleman in the newspaper there. Um, I saw two people that were loved and passionate for the professional wrestling business and for each other, and I didn't, I didn't know that other side
Right.
of either
Right.
one of them. So
Right.
that's a good thing, and
Yeah.
I'd rather keep it that way, to be honest with you. And I'm
Agreed.
glad to hear you say that.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I'm glad someone else said that. Now listen, where there's smoke, there's fire. Obviously, there's been issues, and obviously
Yeah,
what she did, she had now with the drunk driving, she had to pay for,
yeah,
and unfortunately, a man died over it, and
yeah.
she has to pay for it. We're not
Right.
we're not trying to say she was a saint. We're just giving
No.
our opinion. When we were around her,
Yes.
we never saw the dark side of Tammy Sytch.
I never saw that one bit. We're talking years before that,
Yeah.
and a couple of years into the WWF run, uh, I just wasn't around that side of her. But yeah, I'm not saying she's safe. And that's the other thing. Like I mentioned that story of Chris Benoit. I'm really careful about saying that but it's a true part of when I knew him. Traveling in Australia and being on a tour bus and then being in Atlanta with them and a whole different time period. The intensity he brought to the ring and to the matches and things like that. It's a terrible tragedy what happened. It's really to me, I think it's unspeak to do something like that. It's horrendous. But uh, but I try to tend to wear blinders maybe and say, you know what? When I knew that person, they weren't that way, and they weren't. And I'm not, same thing with Tammy. I was never hell. I don't know that being in the gym with her, see her and Chris saying something about give a fuck. They not my business, I don't.
Right.
If they was even arguing or something, I never knew it because I didn't make it my business.
Right.
I'd heard stories. You hear things in those locker rooms, and I know that. I saw some things, but not that bad side. You know what I'm saying? I saw other
Right.
things that go on in a locker room with guys and girls and traveling partners. Shit happens, you know. Like I said, I'm not my brother's keeper, and I wasn't judging anyone. So, yeah, that's good to know that you also didn't see the bad side. And again, it's whatever she's paying now, you know. So, um, but yeah, Bobby Blaze Metal on Amazon or Bobby Blaze 744 on Twitter and Instagram. And I love interacting with people, especially as we spoke off air. We're just wrestling fans, love the wrestling business.